questions, and share vacation pictures. Do it all now over the nation's largest 4G network, only from AT&T. Best Western, the biggest hotel family supports our military. There's a Best Western that's perfect for your stay. Stop at our booth to learn more. Well, there you hear the sound of the SB2C Helldiver just having taken off. It's a dive bomber from World War II. The strategic dive bombing concept was first entertained by the United States Navy back in the 1920s. The dive bomber was to be an accurate weapon for offensive action against surface ships. The Navy commissioned the Curtiss Aircraft Corporation to develop a dive bomber, and in the mid-1930s produced the SB2C biplane Helldiver. Well, this is not that airplane, but it carries the same name. Recognizing the need for improved performance by advances in aerodynamics by the U.S. Navy, then further contracted Curtiss to develop a monoplane version of the Helldiver, and it was the SB1C, and this became the SB2C. They made about 7,200 of these airplanes, and there are 5 remaining of all 7,000 of them. And 4 are in museums, and the one we see here today is truly a one-of-a-kind flying aircraft, the only flyable SB2C in the world, powered by a Wright Cyclone radial engine that develops 1,700 horsepower. It could get up to speeds of 280 miles per hour. And Mark Allen from Houston, is watch him as he dives in, gets it up on one wing and dives almost down 45 degrees down. The bomb bay doors are open, and he pulls up. With a crew of 2, that bomb bay could carry up to 2,000 pounds of bombs in it. It also had two 20-millimeter cannons or 4 50 caliber machine guns in the wings, and 2 .303 caliber machine guns in the rear cockpit. A wingspan of 50 feet. And like so many and all aircraft carrier aircraft of the day, those wings could be folded up. Let's listen to the sound of that Wright Cyclone engine. Amazingly, this airplane was kind of disadvantaged from the start because it had to compete with a very highly capable aircraft from Grumman, the TBF Avenger. And the Helldiver never quite won a similar place in the hearts of U.S. naval aviators. It took time to prove itself in action, but eventually became an effective carrier-launched dive and torpedo bomber in the war against the Japanese. But it didn't earn its reliability soon enough for some commanders, and it got picked up the name, a derogatory nickname of the Beast. Maximum diving speed was 350 knots. That's 350, 385, all just shy of 400 miles per hour. It actually had dive brakes which would come up from the wings on the top and bottom to keep it from going too fast. From the right, get your cameras on it. It's a photo pass of the SB2C Helldiver. Order for 450 Helldivers for the Royal Navy was made, but only 26 actually reached Britain. None of them were used operationally by the Royal Navy. And I was mentioning those dive brakes. They are kind of like pieces of Swiss cheese, metal Swiss cheese that come up from the, stick up from the top of the wing and stick down from the bottom of the wing to keep it from going too fast. Here's another pass. One of the prototypes of this aircraft actually fell to pieces in a dive bombing trial. Hence the need for the dive brakes. The design specifications for the Helldiver were really influenced in no small way by the German Air Force, or the Luftwaffe's success with the Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber. Diving in from the left, once again, we've got the SB2C Helldiver. This design was also additionally hampered by a requirement that it might serve also the United States Army Air Force. And Curtis having to try to fulfill multi-mission roles with one design, ended up with one that didn't work at all for the Air Force and worked less effectively for the Navy. It's good to hear these round engines as we take you back to World War II. Without any fuel or weapons aboard or crew aboard, it weighed about 11,000 pounds. Fully loaded, it got up to 16,600 pounds. And could get to speeds of 280 miles per hour. Again, this is the only flyable SB2C Helldiver in the world today. Built by Curtis Wright. This one's known as the Big-Tailed Beast. And this is part of the commemorative Air Force. And they are giving him clearance to land. Would you join me in a nice round of applause for the demonstration of the world's only flying Helldiver, piloted by Mark Allen of Houston, Texas. At 12 o'clock today, the United States Air Force Honor Guard drill team will be performing in front of the Air National Guard F-16 display in the static area. And that's just a couple of minutes away from now, say about 3.5 minutes. They're going to land the Helldiver, and there is a 757 out there on the line that's going to be taking off shortly. It's part of the Sam Fox fleet, the Special Air Mission Fleet that is headquartered here at Joint Base Andrews. Then we'll have the Golden Knights. Following that, the Geico Sky Typers will be in, and there you can see on the big screens there, or jumbotrons, you can see the SB2C's conventional landing gear as Mark Allen sets up for a wheel landing. And he'll be turning off, and he'll taxi by the crowd, and you'll be able to see just how large the airplane is, with a wingspan of 50 feet. And I bet you we could coax Mark Allen to fold the wings up. It's the Helldiver, and give Mark Allen a wave as he goes by. That's how they got more airplanes stowed on the deck. You will also notice that he's weaving back and forth along the line. That is on purpose. Quite frankly, he does that because he can't see directly in front of him. He can't see over the nose. So he pushes on the left rudder pedal. It goes to the left. He looks out to the right to see where he is. Then he pushes on the right rudder pedal, looks over to the left. And so he snakes down the runway, and that's how he sees where he's going. And that's that one-of-a-kind flyable SB2C Helldiver. Thank you, Mark Allen, for a great flight. J.D. Barrentes is the team captain. He's from Yuma, Arizona. He was looking out the door as those streamers were being tossed out, and he is using hand and arm signals to connect to the pilot, to the crew up there in the aircraft. The pilot